So now that we understand how to lose and win, let's look at implementing a way to lose this game. So we want to create a block that basically acts as a barrier, and if you run into it, you die. So let's make a new sprite. We're going to call this SPR block, and we're just going to fill this up. We're going to first change it to 32 by 32. Then we're going to fill it up with red. Press F for the fill tool, and voila, there we go. Then we're going to make an object called obj block, and we'll assign it that sprite. Let's come into the room. Let's make sure we're on our instances layer, and let's drag in a block. And side note, if you do anything with these layers and you move them around or you accidentally close one, you can come up to room and reset Windows on current desktop and set everything back to the way it was originally. You can do that everywhere as well. So in room, that pops up. In workspace, it disappears, but in images, if we come in here, you can see that there's contextual menus here, so you can reset all of that kind of stuff. So that's helpful to know. So let's place a block, and now let's come over here. And what we could do is then place more blocks all the way around, but that would be a lot of blocks and a lot of time. Instead, we can actually stretch these. So I'm just going to grab the bottom of this and pull it and make one long red block. And then I'm going to Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste. And then I have a second block that I'm going to put over there. Then I'm going to grab one more block, place it up top, and do the same thing. You can stretch it once that's there, once you see that little icon, and just pull it across. Copy, paste, and voila. Now we have a barrier inside of our game. So if we run it, we'll see that all the way around the edges, and that looks really good. Okay, now we want to make it so that when we run into this block, we die. And when we die, we lose the game, and because we want it to be fast-paced, we want it to keep trying, we're just going to restart immediately as soon as we die. The way to do that is by using a function actually called game restart. So let's add an event, collision with the snake. So if we collide with the snake at all, we are going to restart the game. And the function is called game underscore restart. It doesn't take any arguments, and it just does exactly what it says it does. So for the speed of testing, I'm going to pull this guy right over here. Press F5, and now I'm going to move up a little bit. I'm going to come over, and bam, the game just restarts immediately. And that's exactly what we want. So depending on how much we've done and how much score we have, it doesn't really matter, but we're playing, we hit a block, and then we die. And that makes it, well, essentially a game. We have a goal, we can achieve that goal through our skill, and then we can lose and we can keep playing when that happens. So this is, although not a fun one, it is essentially a complete game. Now, there's still a lot to do, because right now the player knows how many foods they've collected, well, assuming they can keep track if they start doing really well. But the game is really boring, right? If we look at it, we have just a snake and a food and a barrier, which is all we need, but we need to do more with it. Currently, we don't go any faster. We don't see our score because we're not actually keeping track of it inside of our game. So there's a lot that we can still do to make it more interesting and definitely more fun. So in the next one, let's look at adding more of a challenge to our game and making it more fun to play.